All right, welcome back. We've covered what the Cyber AI profile is and what it requires. Now, what I want to actually show you is how it sits inside the broader framework it was built on, because if you don't understand that relationship, you're going to miss out on how the whole governance stack works together. So, why does this mapping matter? The way I read this after 22 years of experience is that every major governance framework eventually becomes a layer in a stack. Nobody operates against just one. You've got CSF, you've got 853, you've got other industry specific overlays. And the organizations that govern well understand how those layers connect. The ones that struggle treat each framework as a separate project. The Cyber AI profile is not a standalone document. It's explicitly built on top of the NIST CSF 2.0. It uses the 2.0 structure, its functions, its categories, and its subcategories, and overlays AI specific considerations on top of each one. If your organization is already working against the CSF, you're not starting over, you're just extending what you already have, and that's good news. If CSF 2.0 is not in your foundation, that's the conversation we need to have first. You can't layer AI governance onto something that isn't there yet. Okay, so about the CSF, you know the six functions, so let me just give you the AI lens on each one quickly. You have identify. You go look at your asset inventory right now and ask whether AI components are actually in there. These are your models, agents, third-party AI dependencies. Chances are they're not, and that's where shadow AI becomes your biggest exposure. Protect. This is where prompt injection defense and model security live. If you have LLM-based applications running and AI-specific controls are not in your security architecture yet, that's the gap you have to close. Detect. This one runs in two directions: detecting threats coming at your AI systems and detecting AI enabled threats coming at your broader environment, both simultaneously. Respond. Pull your IR plan and ask one honest question. Was this written with an AI enabled attack scenario in mind? I think you're going to find out it most likely wasn't. Last, recover. Model integrity validation but with compromised AI systems before they go back into production. That's the mapping. Now, we're going to talk about the function that drives all of it. That's govern. Govern's the function I really want to spend real time on because this isn't just another box in the framework. This is the function that determines whether everything else actually works. When I look at govern through an AI lens, what it is really asking is whether your organization has made conscious, documented decisions about AI risk. Documented decisions. These are not reactive decisions. These aren't informal ones. These are conscious and documented. I know I keep saying that. First, you want to start with the risk appetite. The framework asks you to define what level of AI risk your organization is willing to accept. I mean, it sounds pretty straightforward until you actually try to do it. What does acceptable AI use actually mean in your organization? Is it defined? Which AI deployments are inside that boundary and which ones aren't? Who made that determination and when did they make it? Where is it written down? Those aren't easy questions, and the answers have real consequences for every AI deployment decision your teams are making right now, and they're making it without that framework in place. Then there's the accountability question. And this one deserves more attention than it gets currently. Govern requires you to define who is responsible for AI risk. Is it the CISO? Is it a chief AI officer? Is it a chief risk officer? Is it a cross functional committee? There's no single right answer, but there is a very wrong one, and that answer is nobody. Risk without a named owner does not get managed. It accumulates quietly until something forces the conversation. Please don't let that be an incident. You do not want to go down that path. The policy gap is the next one. I want you to look at your AI use policy right now and ask whether it governs agentic AI, whether it covers employees using personal AI tools for work purposes, whether it covers third party models embedded in your vendor stack. The AI use policies that exist right now were largely written fast and reactively in 2023 when it was just ChatGPT. The threat landscape, the technology, and the regulatory expectations have all moved significantly since then, and chances are your policy is not kept up. Supply chain risk management under govern is the one I think the cyber AI profile gets the most right. When you bring an AI system into your environment, whether you built it, you bought it, or integrated it through a vendor, you're inheriting the security posture of every component in that system. And I've said that before in other videos. That's the model, the training data, the inference infrastructure, the APIs, right? All of it. Govern requires you to have a framework for assessing and managing that risk before you deploy, not after something goes wrong. Oh, and then there's the board oversight. Govern is explicit, and it requires that AI risk must have visibility at the leadership level, not buried in a technology risk report, not delegated entirely to the security team. The board needs to understand the organization's AI risk posture the same way they understand financial and operational risk. That means your CISO or AI risk lead needs to be able to walk into that room and give a very clear business level picture of where the organization stands. If that briefing doesn't exist yet, building it is a governed priority. So, here's the frame I use when I'm working through this with leadership. Govern is not about slowing AI adoption down. Like, don't do that. It's about making sure the decisions your organization is making about AI are conscious ones. These are made with your eyes open, with accountability attached, with a policy framework that actually reflects where the technology and the threat landscape are today. The organizations that get governed right, they don't really move slower on AI. They move more confidently because they have answered the hard questions before they need them. There's three things I want you to walk away with. Pull your AI use policy this week. I want you to read it against where your organization actually is with where AI is today. If it doesn't cover agentic AI or third party model risk or your employee use of personal AI tools, those are the gaps you have to address first. I want you to answer the accountability question. Who owns AI risk in your organization right now? If the answer isn't immediately clear, that's your starting point. You got to get AI risk onto the enterprise risk register this quarter. I want you to have a named owner, review the schedule. That one move changes the conversation at the leadership level. Now, I know I keep coming back to how hard it is to operationalize what we're covering in this series. The governance requirements alone involve coordinating policy, ownership, risk appetite, supply chain, and board reporting. Now, Z Cyber is building a platform specifically designed to make that work manageable. Still not ready to show you everything, but I'm getting closer every day. Stay close. In the next video, we're going to zoom out and we're going to look at the full global AI governance landscape. High trust, OWASP, CIS, the EU AI Act, and why the geopolitical dimension of AI governance matters more than most security leaders are accounting for right now. I'll see you in the next one.